Well, we're back, and I wanted to do a video of right before I get the lathe. I don't remember exactly what my video was on the last one before this one here that I just switched to. I wanted to show what this looks like before, and then we'll do I guess a piece by piece as I put it up. I'm waiting for the UPS now, and I'm walking on pins and needles for it. Anyway, I wanted to show what I got to prepare for it. Got me a live center, as you can see. Yeah, that's a pretty beefy thing. I mean, compared to my hand, how big that thing is. I didn't think it was that big, but and it's an MT3, so it should work. And so now I got my live center out of the way. Now I went ahead and ordered one of the cheaper chucks until I can afford to get a better one. I finally did get the chuck off that green one, and the way I did it was, if you remember in the last video, I couldn't get it apart. So I decided to do it in a different direction. But that's another video. I always get sidetracked. So here's what it looks like before. I don't know if I have to, I think I'm going to have to level this, because with the Atlas lathe, this worked out okay. Well, now the Atlas ain't here, and a different application's going back in, so I got to change things around a little bit. The bottom of that one is completely level if I use the chip pan, and I'm debating on whether I want to use that chip pan because I already have this here. It's a good possibility that I can use the chip pan on the lathe and then use this for a drawer, take everything out of it, clean it up, and line it with some, I don't know, maybe some thin carpet or something like that, line the inside of it and use it for a toolbox. That would be cool too. So I may have to put, I'll get a piece of wood here and show you the idea I have. I have some of this stuff here, and I got it for free. I did a job for somebody, and they said I could have scraps, so pretty big scraps. So I may have to take and cut a piece to fit this whole area right here. That might be them right there. Be right back. I had a phone call, a guy I'm trying to get to come over and help me unload this lathe. Anyway, the plan is to set it right here. And if I can set it here, maybe I can bring it all the way up to here, but I need to remove these lights. These lights need to be going somewhere else, and they've been needing to do that for a long time. I don't know if I'll get to it, but we're going to try to, depending on how this thing fits in here. If I can center it in here to where the back of it comes to right here, that would probably work out. Because if I'm not mistaken, let me see here. Overall length, let me find a tape measure. And then we'll figure out where we're going to put this thing. Alright, with 46 inches, I've already done that one. I think it'll work just fine. Right there's 46 inches. I can split the difference on just as much on this side as it is on that side, and just kind of split the difference. Then we've got 22 inches wide. So from the outer edge here, wow, this thing is wide. Yep, I'm going to have to put wood on here. So let me go ahead and get started on that, get that wood on here, and basically what we're going to do is I'm going to cut a piece to fit this, perfect, like this, the same thickness, that'll bring it level on both sides. Then, once I've done that, to make the bench a little more sturdy, I'm thinking real serious about taking a full sheet of plywood and cutting a piece to fit this whole thing and just go over the whole thing with it. It'll raise it another, let's see, 3/4, and the height on this thing is 16 5/8. Well, they got down to the 5/8, didn't they? So let's see, 16 brings it to right, 16 5/8 brings it to right there. So it's pretty short, so it should be okay for me to go ahead and do that. I'll have to move this up and probably make a bigger one of these to kind of come over the top of the backsplash. And once I come over top of the backsplash, then I could put some kind of a rubber here, I don't know, to keep chips from going in behind it, because there's going to be a gap between here about that much. Let's see, 22. Yeah, there's going to be a gap that's 5.5 inches wide in behind there. That will also allow me a place to run wires through here if I need to. If I wanted to run another outlet or another 12 volt or an antenna or anything, I can run a wire back through there and I'll have plenty of room to do so. You got to think of all the aspects of it and try to get a plan as to what you're going to do and how it's going to affect you in the future. I'm like 50 steps ahead. I probably would make a very good chess player. When I did play chess, I was pretty daggone good, so I've gotten older. Anyway, we're waiting on the chuck, and we're waiting on the lathe, and as soon as it gets here, we'll start this back up. You guys have a good one. Until then, later. They're here finally. Here it is, 6:45. It's supposed to be in here at 6. It's here. It's in here. Man, I had a hell of a time getting this thing up on here by myself. I just took that thing and laid it on the ground here. Took a rope, or this strap, strapped around it, lifted it up to where it's sitting on the floor on this end. And had this up in the air, and I kind of caught this corner with that hole that's inside there and had it leaning right here. And then once I had it leaning, I just held up on this so it wouldn't fall down and raised that up to it, because this side ain't very heavy. It's this side here that's the heavy side. But it's there, and now I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Debating on whether to use my original chip pan or the chip pan that came with it. I really would like to leave all this open back here, so I'm thinking I'm going to leave that chip pan off of it. And I don't know yet. So I've got the chuck off of it. I've got the panel off of it. Cross slide, the tail slide, everything, man. Now I get to clean it up, but we're having a problem with mounting this thing. It falls a little short to my lathe, my Atlas lathe. The reason I'm having a problem is these holes line up right at the edge of this plywood on both sides. So I've got to take and try to mount this side on a bracket, I think. I've got this L bracket right here, and what I can do, let's pretend that you can see this side. I can take and mount that right there, and I'll put it there and draw me a line here, and then I will take the router, and I think, and route this out the thickness of this right here, and then mount that in there with a threaded hole that goes down in here, so that when I get it lined up with this part, then I can just take and reach in there and thread my bolt into it. The other side, once I've got this that far to where a bolt will go in here, that side will be fine. I can mount it to the wood. So one side has to be done with this. So until then, I'm going to pause this because my battery's getting ready to go dead. And we'll come back when I'm cleaning it up. Well, we didn't get this thing in any time too soon, I can tell you that. You hear that rain hitting the roof? Coming a hell of a thunderstorm. That driver cut her real close, man, because I'm going to tell you, another, I don't know, half hour after he delivered it, it started a hell of a downpour. And just as I was getting this thing slid up into the shop, it started pouring it, so I was underneath the awning, and finally got it up in here. But we're going to start cleaning this thing up now, and what I'm going to use is I'm going to use my blue towel, and then we're going to use I had it there just a few minutes ago. We're going to use this rag, and we're going to get all this old rust inhibitor off of it. And what we're going to use is gasoline. So Now this is not straight gas. What this is chainsaw gas. So it's got oil in it, so I don't see a real problem with doing this with that gas. If the paint ain't no tougher than that, I'll just repaint it. So I'd like to have something a little wider. I think I'm going to use a pie pan. And we're going to put a little bit of this gas in this pie pan. Set it right there. And that way we can just get this in there. And wring it all the way out. Set that aside. Enjoy the music.